The goal we have here is to send WhatsApp message to any phone number in the world without using the phone or internet. And you will understand the reason for me doing it if you ever had a boyfriend or girlfriend, because it's an unofficial rule to send "Good morning, honey, have a sweet dream, I love you, I miss you, I can't take shower without you," all these messages every single day. And if you have a very romantic relationship, you will know the pain of missing a good morning message one single day. So without a further ado, let's get started. To do this, I will definitely need Python installed in my machine. I will use Visual Studio Code as my code editor. If you have any other code editor, feel free to use that one. I will need few tools to make it easier. Definitely the pip would be the first one to use different Python packages, a command line terminal. I will need Git for my source control. I will need a scheduler to schedule the task so that a message could be sent a certain time in the morning, like in the 8 AM in the morning or 10 PM at night, or maybe after every 30 minutes if you are a crazy lover. Eventually, I will use Heroku to host the service so that I don't need to touch computer or mobile to send those messages. Heroku can do it automatically for free. And the last and most important part is you need a boyfriend or girlfriend to send the message, because if you don't have one, to whom you will send the message. But don't worry, if you don't have any girlfriend or boyfriend, I know that Ariana Grande is single right now, so you can take a chance there. Let's start with the projects. The first thing I have is in my projects folder, which is currently empty. And I also have my terminal, which is pointing to the same folder, and I will create a brand new folder for this. So I will make it as like a love automation, because we want to make love more automatic here, I guess. So, and I will cd to this love automation. I will open this in our code editor. I will be using Visual Studio Code. From now on, I will be using the Visual Studio built-in terminal for most of the command from here. The very first thing I will do is to create a Python file, and to do that, I will type name it as like a honeylove.py, and we will open this honeylove.py. So we'll have this here, and just to be in the safe side, we will write a simple Python command to like love you baby or whatever you want to write, and then we want to make sure this is running properly. So we'll run this Visual Studio extension, and we will have this output as like a love you baby. That means our Python thing is working. The very first thing you will need is to find out this awesome framework that will make your life much easier to automate sending messages. And Twilio has this. So you have to create a account in the Twilio website. I already created one, and then you need to verify their email address and all this stuff. So I already did that. And after you log in to this account, you will be taken to their dashboard. Once you log in, you will see in their dashboard, and if you have any other projects, you will see here. But our intention is to look into this guy. It's called Programmable SMS. So I clicked on this, and then you will see like a few options for automate. Our goal is to look into the WhatsApp. So I will click on the WhatsApp thing. Now you have to do two things. Take the phone of the person to whom you want to send the message, and then in their WhatsApp, you need to send a specific message like this one to this phone number, which is the same phone number 415-523-8826, and just type whatever is written here. So I am typing is Joanne Valley Live. So, and then if you send it, there will be getting a recognized message here that Twilio sandbox you are already set. That means like you can send any message to this phone number. Now it becomes like a super easy for you to do the rest part of things. You already have the connections. All you have to do is to go to the next level to send one-time message. And to do this, you will start with like some appointment reminder, and they will give you the code. On the left hand side, you will see two things. The first one is the receiver phone number, that is like 2 number it would be going. Right now I put like a fake number so that you don't see my special person's phone number, and this is the default Twilio sandbox phone number, and this is your message. So if I just like, okay, love you sweetheart or whatever you want to do, and then if you want to test it, you can just click on this make request. So I will change this number to the right one and then send this request to that number. After clicking on this make request, you'd be able to see like a love you sweetheart message to this number goes immediately, and if you click it multiple times, every time it will send there. So you're done with the step 1. You are able to send a message from this dashboard to a specific phone number. Now your goal is to run it locally on your machine. And to do this, make sure you click on this one, the call, because you don't want call. Who uses call anyway? Go to Python. So it will be switched to the Python language, and make sure you click on this mark. If you do this, it will show your auth token here, and then you copy the code from here. So I'll be doing it offline so that you don't see my auth token, just for the security purpose. Now go to the Visual Studio Code and open the projects that you have, where you have like a love you baby, and paste your code here. So once you copy paste the code, it's kind of like a few lines of code where you have like the Twilio REST. That means you have a dependency of Twilio. You need to install the dependency locally to able to run it in your machine. And it has your account ID, auth token, and then the the phone number that you are trying to send this. And what I will do, I will need to install the Twilio. So it's very simple. You can go to this command line. I will open this command line and then pip install Twilio. And if you need to put like a sudo in front of it, feel free to put sudo. If you're Windows, you don't need that, but I'll be use this sudo in front of it, and it will install the Twilio in your machine. And once this Twilio thing is done, which is took like a 7 second, and you would be able to run this from your own machine. To prove it is going there, I will make it like a good night sweetheart, and I will make it even more romantic by dropping some emojis, because these days your emotion doesn't get expressed without emojis. Now I will change this number to the number that I want to send, and then hit the play button. So I already have this number set. Now my goal is to play it and then see the magic happens in few seconds. And if it is work correctly, you'll see good night sweetheart, all these things, and you can send as many sweetheart and love as many times you want. So we were able to send WhatsApp message from our computer to any particular number. Our goal is not to do it manually. Our eventual goal is to deploy it to a server and then run it periodically. And there are multiple different ways you can do it. Here we will do it by using a Python package called Advanced Python Scheduler. So we'll go to the website and search for Advanced Python Scheduler, and it will take to a very well used library, and you can use so many different things. But you do like a user guide, it will tell you to install App Scheduler. So I will do the same thing in my Visual Studio Code to run it. So I will do this and pip install App Scheduler, and it will install the scheduler in the local machine. And to run it periodically, you can just take some of the example from here, and they have like so many different way you can run the scheduler. In our case, initially we will do automate this message maybe every minute or every 5 minutes, because you are so crazy lover, you need to love every single minutes. So let's look for the interval, and all you need to do is you can just copy paste code from here. And what we will do this, we'll copy it, and then we will go to our Visual Studio Code. We will create another file. We call it as like a clock.py. This would be a clock, and then we will open this clock.py. Inside this clock.py, we will copy paste here. And right now what it has a method here, and it creates like a scheduler, and it has a certain time interval. Every 2 hours it does call this function. We can't wait our emotion for 2 hours, so we'll make it maybe, and it would be maybe 10 seconds. So every 10 seconds we want to call a method. In our case, we don't just say hello world. It's not romantic and emotional. We'll go our honey love, and we'll create a function, and we'll call it like a send love. And inside this function would be this message, and maybe inside this function we will message the SID or something like this, and we save it. We come to this clock function. We get rid of this job, whatever's job. Our job is to make love, so we will from honey love we will import send love, and instead of job function, our job is to send love. Now every 10 seconds, if this runs correctly, we should get a message in the WhatsApp. Let's see whether this works or not. So run this clock. Let's see what happens in every 10 seconds, whether we get like a sweet love. So you see like it already is coming here is you see like a 11:48, another one is 11:48. That means like you have to wait 10 seconds, and when you see this print command is getting output, within a few seconds it's come in this message. That means like you're constantly sending love to the persons. This is awesome. Now you have to do one last thing to deploy it, but you already see that you are flooding with love. You are the most romantic person in the world. So congratulations. Let's go to the next step to make it automatically in the server, because your machine or your Python script will not be executing all the time. We need a server, we need a permanent solution to be the most romantic person in the world. So for this, we will go to Heroku, and you can just Google Heroku and you will go to the first site. This is called Heroku, this cloud application platform. This is what we are talking about. And inside Heroku, you need to log in. If you don't have an account, you just click on the sign up. My case, I already have an account, so I will just do the login. And once you log in, it will take you to their dashboard. Inside the dashboard, on the top hand side, you will see the new, and click on this, create new application, and give some name. And we name it as like our lab automation, and just create this application. And this will tell what you need to do. The first thing actually you have to do, install the Heroku CLI. And if you go to this link, it will tell you that you need to install this. CLI is a command line. If you scroll a little bit, you will see for the Mac to install the CLI first time, you will use, if you have the brew, you will do this way. For Windows guys, you can install the 32, 64 or whatever the version you have. And the Ubuntu guys, you are already smart, you know what to do anyway. So I will go back to the Visual Studio Code, and at the bottom, I will do this brew command to install Heroku CLI. So it's already done, and I need to go back to the dashboard that I had here, and you will see all the command I need to do is here, but you have to do two more things on top of it. So let's do these two parts, and the first part would be Heroku login. If you just do Heroku login, it will take you to the website, and if you ask for the permission, just press any key, and it will take you to the website, and it will log you in. And once login is done, you can go back to this page, which is like you are logged in as like a programming hero and whatever is your account is. So this is the first part done. Now for the server side, we need to do two things. First thing we need to do is to create list of dependencies. In our case, we actually have two dependencies. We are using Twilio here, and then we are using app scheduler. So we'll create a file, it's called requirements.txt. This is a kind of a standard way. You can do touch requirements.txt and then open the requirements.txt file. In our case, we are using Twilio, and whatever the latest version you are using, just use that version here. You can check their current version when you are installing it, you save it. And this is important because when you are deploying these projects, Heroku needs to know the external dependencies it needs to install in their server. Otherwise, this thing will not work. One last thing we will need is the Proc File. Proc File is a file that will tell that, hey, Heroku, run this project by using this clock. And all we need to do is to create a file, and be careful when you're creating this proc file, P, the first letter has to be uppercase. So proc file, something like this, enter, and then you open this proc file. There is no extension, there's no txt or py or anything after the proc file, it's just the name. And you need to type a special command clock. This is telling Heroku that, hey, this would be a clock, and then the clock would be python clock.py. Now, if you look into the folder, we already created Honeylove that's automatically send the WhatsApp message. We created the clock.py that's schedule the message a certain interval of time, and then the requirements is the dependency you have. And finally, you are telling Heroku, hey, run this project by using whatever the rules written in this clock.py. We are all done here. Now we are just one step away to deploying to this server and make it automatic. Once again, we will go back to the Heroku, and we see in our dashboard, it says like we already did the login. Now we just need to do from this part. We don't need to create a project. We already created the projects. So we will come to this, and first thing we will do git init. So we initialize a git projects for our source control purpose, and then we'll go back to the website. We need to set the remote. So we need to copy this and set it in our machine. This is the destination where the code would be going. Don't worry much about it. Now you need to commit the changes. So we need to do all three things in a row. So we'll add everything, we make a commit, and then we'll push. So we'll go back to the Visual Studio and git add everything that we have in the project. Now git commit, and since you are ready or crazy to make this love automation, you can say it like crazy to make love automation. And you do that, and you did the commit, all the files are added, and the last thing is git push Heroku master. This is the master branch you want to push, and this will push all the changes, and it might take like a few seconds. Looks like it's already done. Now we will go back to the Heroku website, and then we also keep an eye on our mobile. Let's see what's happening over there. Our last one was 11:51 local time. Our local time is 12:09, and we are currently in the upload. So we will go to this resource. This is the resource, and there is something called free dynos. That means like you want to run a clock frequently, whatever the code written on the Pi thinks, and you just have to do click this one is edit. You have to turn this on, and you do confirm. This means you are ready to run the clock automatically. Click on confirm, and then keep an eye on this. If everything is correct, you would be able to see that message is started triggering without you doing anything on your laptop, phone, or anywhere else. You see, I already got like a 12:10. That means like you started making the connections. If you have a crush on anybody and you want to send a message, hey, do you want to go to a date? And you want to send it like every 10 seconds or every 1 minute or every hour to annoy that person, this is the right application for you. After a month or so, if you keep making this romantic connection, you would like to see whether everything is working correctly, you can just check like Heroku logs. If you do that, it will fetch the log and it will tell you the last thing it happened. These are the server time, so it might not match exactly in your local time. And then you will be able to see the message was sending correctly or not. So after a couple months, you got a breakup. Oh, that's heartbreaking, but it's part of the game. It's real life. Maybe you found someone smarter than that person. Like, you never know. In that case, you don't want to keep sending romantic messages to your ex. So to turn this off, it's very simple. Go to this, your project, and then free dynos, click on this edit, and then make this turn off. And before you confirm, you see like in every 10 seconds, you are sending message to this person. And if you don't want to send anymore, just click on confirm. And after that, you would be completely disconnected from this person. That's all I wanted to share with you in this video. If you liked it, please smash on the like button, click on the subscribe, and punch the bell icon. And if you want more videos like this, write a comment inside the below. I will be reading and replying every single comment, and much more exciting videos is coming soon. And one last thing. If you don't know what the heck I was doing, you definitely should go to the Google Play Store and check out this awesome app called Programming Hero. And if you start exploring this, I'm sure you'd become the hero of Python. All the best.